All right, welcome in to episode number 1 of The Rundown. I am your host, Dylan Mehl, and for a lot of you, this is probably your first time seeing my face, and you're like, who the hell is this guy? Well, my name is Dylan Mehl. I'm an avid sports fan. I've been a sports content creator for better part of over a year at this point, and me and the college kids are teaming up to bring you a weekly rundown of all things sports. It's going to be a weekly show coming out on Fridays on both the College Kids channel and the Philly Podfather channel. So if you're seeing it on both, that's why. I'm going to take about 5 minutes here to introduce myself, talk about what my vision for this show is, the direction of how I can contribute to sports content here on both channels. If you want to skip that and just get right into today's episode, right into the sports talk, all the timestamps should be in the description. But yeah, I've been an avid sports fan for my entire life. Been producing content now at a high level, I would say, for a year. I dabbled in making content for about 2 years before I really found my voice, niche, how I wanted to go about it. And, I got linked up with the college kids through a mutual friend. We decided, being best of our both interests, to collab on a show. There will be guests on this show from time to time. Episode 1 will be a solo dolo episode for me, but I'm excited to be here. My vision for this show is kind of a weekend preview. Get you all jazzed up, all excited for the weekend sports, talk about what we saw this week, talk about what I'm expecting to see this weekend, and then come back next Friday and do it all again. If you are new here, and this is your first time seeing the channel, there's a lot of sports content that is on the way. You won't want to miss that. NBA, NFL season's right around the corner. MLB, sports betting galore. Follow the college kids on Twitter if you are a sports bettor. These guys don't miss. I'm going to be giving picks at the end of today's show, and, I consider myself an avid sports guy. And I'd say my sports betting knowledge is above average. But, it's going to be tough to compete with those guys. Those guys are the experts. So for real, give them a follow on Twitter. But now let's hop into today's show. I hope you enjoy. But we're starting, of course, with the NBA playoffs are in full effect. And last night, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Los Angeles Lakers. It was a blowout. It was a game that I kind of saw the blowout coming. Twofold, to be honest. I am a LeBron guy. I'm rooting for the Lakers, despite all the Philly stuff that you see. From the area, support my teams, but I'm always going to be a Bron guy first. And I've been a LeBron guy for a while, which means I've seen a lot of LeBron-led basketball teams, and I've seen a lot of the Warriors. And two things that I know. This Lakers team, they felt like they got the job done in game 1 for the entire road trip. If they had happened to have a close game in the fourth quarter, they would have tried it. But you could tell there was a lack of urgency in this team that was there in game 1. They very much so clearly felt that they needed game 1, were going all out for game 1, and got game 1. And that's great. But coming into game 2, their foot was off the gas a little bit. LeBron was trying jumpers. They were all trying to get their shot going. In the first quarter, D'Lo, LeBron, Reeves, they hit a lot of difficult shots. I even turned my buddy and said, they have to get Anthony Davis going if they want to win this game. He goes, they're knocking down shots. I said, those are not sustainable shots for this team. I was proven right in that aspect of things. And for the Warriors, this is a team with championship pedigree. This is a team with great shooters, and this is a team that is led by a great head coach in Steve Kerr. Adjustments were going to come. This, like every playoff series, is a series of adjustments. And I knew the chess pieces for the Warriors were going to move into the right spots off of a game 1 loss in what was a must-win game 2 for them. And it's crazy to say must-win, but you go down 2-0 at home, and you have to travel back to LA against the LeBron and Anthony Davis-led team with all the momentum. That series is basically wraps. So the Warriors had to win this game. They came out, they did win this game. We had a vintage Klay Thompson performance, 30 points from him. He was 8 of 11 from beyond the arc. Klay Thompson's got that flamethrower ability in him. Steph Curry was more of a facilitator in this game with 12 assists, and I really think that speaks to Steph Curry as a player on multiple levels, willing to take the back seat because he knows the defensive pressure he's going to get and let his teammates do the work in what was a must-win game. That's impressive. That's selfless basketball. That's Warriors basketball, if we're being completely honest. It was a really fantastic showing from him. And it was also impressive in terms of the skills that were going into making these passes. Not every pass was an easy pass. You're getting double teamed off a pick and roll. It's sometimes hard to get the ball through both of those guys, especially when you're a smaller guard like Steph Curry and you have Jared Vanderbilt and Anthony Davis, 6'8", 6'9", and then 6'10", 6'11", or 7 foot, wherever you want to classify Anthony Davis. Those are huge bodies coming at you when you're 6'3", and kind of a skinnier guy in Steph Curry. You know, if you think about that, just put yourself in that position on the basketball court in your own right and do it with your own height. If you're 5'10" like myself, imagine 2 6'4" and a 6'6" guy collapsing you right at the out of bounds line and you got to make the pass. It's not that easy. And Steph Curry, he's a professional, yes, but it takes a high degree of difficulty to make that split-second decision, and he made the right one time and time again tonight. And I mentioned this will be a series of adjustments. You know, I expect the Lakers to bounce back in Game 3. I think they're going to come out highly motivated. I think that, you know, crypto, the staples, whatever you want to call it nowadays, it's going to be rocking. And they're going to have their foot on the gas because Game 3 is going to feel like more of a we need to get this one than Game 2 did. As a LeBron guy, as a guy who's rooting for the Lakers, you know, I hate to see this team kind of punt games, but it felt like they were willing to punt Game 2, especially at halftime. It was an attainable game, but I came out and said to my buddy that I was watching the game with, I said, in this third quarter, the Lakers are either going to get AD going and we're going to have a game, or they're going to be down by 20. Well, they were down by 30. So I was kind of right. And, you know, like I said, the big adjustment for me for the Lakers is to get AD going earlier. Those difficult shots are cool, and it's nice when they fall. But Anthony Davis is the most impactful player on this Lakers team. They need him to be at an A+. And while Anthony Davis was missing some shots, and he's not out of the blame, you need to get your star players in rhythm early. The Lakers didn't get Anthony Davis's first shot attempt until about 4.5 minutes had passed in this game. That's simply not okay. And when he's not in rhythm offensively, it throws off his whole game. Was he still good defensively? Absolutely. He had 3 blocks in this game and he didn't even play the fourth quarter. And the team looked atrocious without him on the court. These Anthony Davis-less minutes for the Lakers have been terrible. Darvin needs to work on a lineup. I don't know why, with how small the Warriors are, he hasn't gone back to the Rui Hachimura, LeBron James lineup as the 2 bigs, especially when you have JaMychal Green and Draymond out there. That's a very easy lineup for me, and then you could get an additional shooter like a Malik Beasley or an athletic player who can drive on these Warriors players like Jordan Poole and DiVincenzo, like Lonnie Walker out there. You know, this isn't the series for Wenyen Gabriel. Next series, if you make it there to play Nikola Jokic, yes, having another big body to throw at him in Gabriel would be nice. But I can't get behind playing him when the Warriors go small. He's not impactful enough defensively to be out there. And then you got to stagger Anthony Davis's minutes with Kevon Looney's if you hope to get a board. And that's the honest truth of it. Now, again, for as much bad things as I just said about the Lakers there, they did their job. You know, when you're the road team, doing your job is going back 1-1. The Lakers did their job. The Heat did their job. The Sixers did their job. You stole home court advantage. I hate watching a team, especially one that I'm rooting for, punt a game, but they did. And it's fine. The Warriors, we knew they were going to come out. They have that championship pedigree. They were going to be playing at a high level, and they were. Let's see what happens in Game 3. Speaking of a game three, we got a Celtics 76ers game three coming up this evening in Philadelphia. And like I said about the Lakers, the Sixers did their job. They got this to 1-1. It was impressive the win that they had without Embiid. We had a throwback MVP Harden type performance. I'm not sure if we'll see that again with Embiid out there, but this game isn't a must win for Philadelphia because you have game four, but the momentum that Boston would have after torching you and then going on to win this game three, it would suck. It would really, really suck for the Sixers, man. What level can Joel Embiid get to? He looked pretty good in game two in terms of health. I thought that he was moving up and down the court fine. He looked good defensively. But offensively, he was clearly rusty. And that was just 2 days ago. How much was he able to get in rhythm? How early can he get going tonight? Can the home crowd be there? These are the things that are going to matter. As well, what is the battle of depth in Philadelphia? Because while it's nice that in Boston, Malcolm Brogdon, Grant Williams, and Derek White had lasers from 3-point, it's a lot easier to big up yourself and have a massive game at home than it is on the road. And as for Philadelphia, D'Anthony Melton, Georges Niang, Paul Reed, Tobias Harris to an extent. What are these guys going to perform like at home? Even James Harden you can throw in there with the home crowd behind him. Does the battle of depth swing a little bit more in Philadelphia's favor? Because obviously on paper it's with Boston. But now that you stole home court, can you get away with just winning the home games? And can you actually fulfill that to close this series in 6? Boston's a great team. Mazzulla's a great coach. It's going to be an uphill battle. But if you can get MVP level Joel Embiid, James Harden and Tyrese Maxey to be scorers, and for as well Harden to be a facilitator, and some guy off the bench to knock down shots, I think you have a really good shot. And I think you especially have a really good shot tonight. I think the energy in Philly with Boston in town, it's going to be electric. I think Joel Embiid's first game in Philadelphia since winning the MVP, it's going to be electric. And we'll get to, my pick in the betting situation, the betting segment, I should say. But I think you might know where I'm going. Moving on, though. News came out that Chris Paul will miss game 3. He's expected to miss games 3 through 5. Are the Suns done? The Suns were done even if they had Chris Paul. Okay? Sadly, they're cooked. They don't have any depth, this team. And now they're losing one of their key 4 players. And this guy is their floor general. You were already at a point where you essentially needed an A to A+ night from Kevin Durant and Devin Booker every single game to compete with a high-level team like the Nuggets. Now you 1000% need an A+ game from Kevin Durant and Devin Booker every single night, or it's over, and you're down 2-0. So you essentially need them to be at the highest level that they can be 4 of the 5 next games. Yeah, the Phoenix Suns are done. Now, do I think they're going to get swept? No. I think Kevin Durant and Devin Booker can come out at home and have A+ level games. Absolutely. But over the next course of the series, I don't see them beating this Nuggets team 4 or 5 times. It was an uphill battle when you had Chris Paul. Now they don't. And I want to give some shine to Nikola Jokic. Because while it's a popular opinion to rag on him, especially if you're from the Philadelphia area, which I understand, it's not like he's a bad player. Do I think he's MVP? No. Do I think he should have been back-to-back MVP? No. But is he a top 10, top 5 player in the sport? Absolutely. He's clearly been the best player in this series, outplaying Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. This is a big man that runs the offense. I don't need to explain to you really what Nikola Jokic is, but if you don't watch these Nuggets games, and you haven't been watching Nuggets Suns, I would urge you to watch a game because he's far and away clearly been the best player, but he runs everything on the offense for this team. And he's a fantastic scorer. You know, for his size and weight, the movement he has around the rim, unless you have a Joel Embiid or an Anthony Davis, it's not stoppable. Can you get stops here and there? Sure. But over the course of a 48-minute game, he's going to light you up. His post hooks, his post fades, his little up and unders, and then if you double him, his quick ability to pass the ball. Nikola Jokic is a fantastic player, and we are seeing it in this series. And there's the potential that this is the Jokic coming out party. This Nuggets team is the 1 seed for a reason. You know, the college kids at the beginning of the year, what was the pick that they gave you to win the NBA title? The Denver Nuggets. And perhaps it's going to come to fruition. Heat Knicks, they're in a dogfight. And while this series feels like a winner gets to be a loser type vibes, I'm very excited to watch. Do I think that either one of these teams are making it past Philly or Boston? I do not. I do not. I'll be blunt. I do not. I don't think that they have the talent to. But they have the talent equal to each other to give us a really entertaining physical series. The Heat did their job, like I said, about Philly and LA. They won a game on the road. They stole home court advantage. Jimmy Butler is optimistic he'll play in Game 3. If you know Jimmy Butler, you know he's playing in Game 3. Jimmy's got that dog in him. And that dog's barking. That dog's ready to come out and get back to another Eastern Conference Finals. And if the Miami Heat do that, are they the best team in the East over the last 5 years? I mean, it'll be, 3 or 4 conference finals. They made an NBA finals. I don't know, some food for thought there, but I'm excited to see Butler, Brunson, Randall, Adebayo go head-to-head. Hopefully we can get a lengthy series out of this. Let's move to the diamond here. Looking ahead at some of these MLB stories. The Dodgers, they've been on a tear as of late. They're on a 6-game winning streak, and they've taken over first in the NL West from the Arizona Diamondbacks against the Philadelphia Phillies, who I'm wearing the hat today, but I'm actually a Yankees fan. The Dodgers put up 36 runs in the last series against Philly, averaging 12 runs per game in that series. Max Muncy's been on a tear hitting-wise. He's up to now 12 homers and 7 RBIs. That's insane. The Dodgers are showing us that they are still that high-level World Series team despite the loss of Trey Turner. People were writing them off, but like Geno Smith, it does not appear that they wrote back. Bryce Harper has returned to action for the Philadelphia Phillies. This is massive. I didn't have Bryce coming back until around the All-Star break. And in a really, really competitive NL East with the Mets, the Braves, and the Marlins, the Phillies needed Bryce Harper back. You know, this team had a magical run to the World Series last year, but they were a wild card team, and they just as easily could have missed the postseason. This team's not built for the regular season. They are a team that nobody wants to face in the postseason, but the pitching, it's not built for regular season success. Bryce Harper needed to come back in this lineup, another guy that can simply make ball go boom. And the Tampa Bay Rays, they're still the best team in baseball. The level that they're playing at compared to every other team in the MLB is actually insane. When you think about the payroll that this team has, the lack of superstars, it's just an overall team collective. The pitching is great. The hitting is great. Wander Franco and Randy Arozarena have been absolute studs early in this season, leading this team. And a funny stat that I have here. It's not even funny. It's just ridiculous at this point. The Tampa Bay Rays are plus 114 run differential. And to you alone, maybe that means nothing. Go ahead and take 3 seconds to guess the next closest team. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee while I wait. Okay, the next closest team is the Texas Rangers at plus 69. Nice. And like that is an astronomical difference for this point in this season. To be 45 runs better than the next best team. Unreal. The Rays are playing at an unreal level. All right, what to watch for this weekend in the NBA? We got a ton of playoff games, 2 games a day for the entire weekend. Friday, Celtics, Sixers, Nuggets, Suns. Whoever wins game 3 takes a huge advantage in that Boston-Philly series. And for the Nuggets and Suns, can the Nuggets go up 3-0, or will Kevin Durant and Devin Booker make this a series? And then Saturday, we got Knicks, Heat, and Warriors, Lakers, 2-1-1 series. Miami, LA, hosting. Who's going to win there? And Sunday, we're back to Boston, Philly. We're back to Denver and the Suns. That series, Nuggets and Suns, could be over come Sunday. Talk about an advantage for the Denver Nuggets to sit back and relax while the Warriors and Lakers slug it out. And in the MLB, the Yankees, they travel to Tampa. 3 games, no Garrett Cole. Can they win a single game versus the best team in baseball? As a Yankees fan, probably not. The Dodgers travel to Slam Diego, riding a 6-game win streak. The big bat of Max Muncy, this old school rivalry, but Slam Diego's got Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, Soto. You don't want to miss a single minute of that action. And another, Boston traveling to Philly, Red Sox versus the Phillies, double dose, Boston versus Philly. What a weekend. And it's all in Philadelphia as well. I don't know if this is actually what to watch, but I had to throw it out. 2 teams who combined for 14 wins and a run differential of almost negative 200 square off as the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Athletics take on the Kansas City Royals. I'm not kidding. This may be the worst series in baseball all year. And of course, the NHL playoffs. I'm not a hockey guy, but if you are, they're wrong. Let's get to the weekend bets. The weekend bets, NBA bets. I got 2 of them for you. And they're both tonight. So you better watch this on day 1 of release. Sixers, game 3, money line. I'm seeing it anywhere from plus 102 to plus 110 right now. Plus money on the MVP's first playoff game at home. The Beer, James Harden. We saw a vintage 45-point performance from him. Boston travels to Philly. If you're from Philly, think about what that arena is going to be like. And you can get the Sixers at plus money just to win? Yeah, give me that all day. Next, Kevin Durant. I told you he needs to have an A-plus game. We're taking KD over 28.5 points tonight at minus 125. Chris Paul, not playing. Kevin Durant, the best player on the team. His team's back against the wall. This guy can put up 30 points easily. The line's at 28.5. He's going to need to go over that for the Suns to win. If you think the Suns are going to win, unless you have Devin Booker dropping 50, KD needs to hit the over. And, hold on. Hello. Yeah, I'm doing the show. You got a hockey bet. A hockey bet for the people? Lock. Guaranteed. Sunday, too. Okay. Let me hear it. All right. Yeah, all right, I gotta do the show. Bye. Stars, money line, and sanguine goal from Ben Mandel of Outsider Sports. Hit me with the call. Stars, money line, sanguine goal. There's no line out for sanguine goal yet, but it's gonna be plus money. Those are the weekend bets. As always, keep an eye out on the College Kids Twitter. That is where you could find the best bets out there. As well, if you like the content from me and you want to see this face more than once a week, my personal YouTube channel will be in the description. I have my own podcast, Running Up the Score, which comes out every Monday. So if you want to see me recap the sporting events from this week, check it out. I do other videos throughout the week there as well. Content coming, more collabs between me and the college kids. You don't want to miss that. Next week, we're continuing the NBA playoffs, continuing talking about MLB, but we are going to be discussing NFL futures bets. You don't want to miss that. But that's all we had time for on today's episode of The Rundown. Hope you enjoyed. Smash the like, smash the subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, peace.